This past weekend, a new Suicide and Crisis Lifeline was rolled out. Instead of a 10-digit hotline number to remember, those in crisis can just dial 988.
13 on your side's Elena Holland spoke to those answering the calls and tells us how it works.
Well, in Kent County, when you call 988, you will be connected with a mental health expert from right here in Kent County. Network 180 is the organization that answers those calls, and every month they answer about 256 calls.
For the public, it's huge. Now it's just a 3-digit number.
Remembering a 10-digit number these days just isn't realistic.
Who remembers any phone numbers these days? Like, I barely know my own phone number, right?
That's a problem when the number is for a Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That's why the new way to connect to the Lifeline is 988.
We hope there's actually an uptick in calls because it means more people are getting the help that they need.
The team at Network 180 is the answering voice on the other end of the call in Kent County.
Ask them what's going on and try to get to know them a little bit in the time that they have.
Andrew Boekestein says the local connection is essential to help relate to those in crisis and provide resources.
When someone calls from Kent County, they'll be connected locally to people who live in the community, who work here, who have been trained in the resources, who know the culture, who probably know the neighborhood that the person's calling from.
Meanwhile, across the state, most calls into the Lifeline are answered by experts in Michigan, even though it's a national number.
Over 62,000 calls from people in Michigan to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline in 2021.
Also, if Network 180 or another local group has all experts helping callers, there is backup. They will be connected to someone from the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline in case of overflow, so there should never be a busy signal for a caller in crisis.
We know that crises and suicidal crises can be in a split second. If they are helped, they can be life-saving.
The 988 Lifeline is staffed 24/7, 365 days a year. Those answering the calls are trained in suicide prevention and de-escalation.
We want to remove as many barriers as possible. And while it still might be tough to pick up the phone and talk to someone who you don't really know about something very personal, we hope that it's a little bit easier.
And if you do have the 10-digit former Suicide Lifeline number memorized, it will still be in use to call along with 988.